So beautiful.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
The most influential man in the world, Time Magazine should have been.
No, Meghan Markle beat me.
God. How if it's most influential, there should be there's no debate. Nobody's even in the same category as you.
I don't know. I don't think about it. I try not to. It's a little complicated.
I'm thinking about it, though.
I really shouldn't be influential. I'm not, I don't think hard enough about the consequences of it.
You say that all the time, but man, you have so many good conversations.
It's not a joke. He's being
Get opinion on the ground right now and put my dick in your mouth.
You could try.
For no reason.
You could try.
This could negatively impact all sorts of coastal cities. This could be a gigantic problem. This is not like propaganda that's drummed up by some sort of big business that seeks to make money. I believe we wouldn't know as much about him.
I don't.
But he's still a good-looking guy. He's built great. He looks
Well,
like
those are- yeah.
looks the part.
Looks the part.
Live trying to prove something. To prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game. And if you can't see it, I don't need to prove to you why that's your loss.
Just when you thought the Meghan and Harry drama had cooled down, boom, here comes another wave of headlines, hot takes, and shady side eyes. From podcast meltdowns to plastic bin memes and a royal family that might be this close to cutting ties for good, this one's got everything. So grab your snacks, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because the tea is piping and you won't want to miss a drop.
Ridiculous to flip a coin on that. There's no chance.
Well, do you think that?
Keep saying Meghan Markle, I'm Sussex now. You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name.
We started snorting coke, eating ass. I mean, it was filthy.
Watch this, I tweeted, I thought it was going to end and say, starring Drew Barrymore and Julia Roberts in whatever two. What is this? It's giving rom-com vibes. The music in the background. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe? What is that? This is just, even when she was giving us reality, she couldn't give us reality. So I just wanted to say that if you don't like her, it's not your fault. It's because she's extremely unlikable, okay? She has the non-it factor. It's amazing. She's actually good at this.
I know the kind of mom I am, and I know the kind of human being I am, and I know how I show up. And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love. So, worthiness, maybe part of worthiness comes when you stop having to feel like you're in the prove it game.
Hallelujah. I am getting emotional right now.
So, Meghan Markle is trending again. And nope, it's not because of a royal comeback or a hit podcast. It's because the internet thinks she's faking it. Literally. Meghan showed up on a podcast recently, dabbed at her eyes, got all emotional, but here's the thing, not a single tear fell. People weren't buying it for a second, especially because, surprise, an old video popped up back where Meghan straight up brags about being able to cry on command. Yeah, like, give me 3 seconds and I'll tear up from my left eye kind of brag.
She's crying, and we did a zero in, like we zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in sight, Dan. Look at this. I invite the viewers to take a close-up look at this. Where's the tear? There's nothing there. Look, it's an actor's trick. She just keeps wiping and wiping and wiping, so we think she has a heart.
Oh my God, Meghan. She has this really famous thing where she says one tap left eye and she can make herself cry on demand. And it's a really good thing to have as an actress. But you're completely right. There were no tears there.
That clip resurfaced, and now everyone's wondering if those podcast tears were just another performance. The podcast was with Jamie Kern-Lima. She's a billionaire and known for her inspirational brand. The whole show was supposed to be raw and honest, but viewers, they felt like they were watching a highly filtered infomercial. Jamie poured on the praise, calling Meghan's presence otherworldly and saying the conversation felt like a hug to your soul. Meghan jumped right in talking about cosmic energy and light. And yeah, it was giving TED Talk energy, but not the good kind.
You and like how proud I am of you, and of all things that's making me emotional. For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much. And that's, I think, the best part about being a mom. And we go back to like a love language or gifts. It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about, I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply. And I love being able to see your growth. And I'm just so proud of them.
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that.
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there is no doubt that she studied Princess Diana. She studied her mannerisms towards Harry when he was a boy and the way that she grabs her face. And this is the psychopathic elements of what she does.
At one point, Meghan talked about the hard work she does, like writing Instagram captions and keeping up with friends. Meanwhile, her team of assistants and PR people are doing the real lifting. Unsurprisingly, that part didn't land well. Viewers who are juggling 2 jobs and barely making rent were not feeling the sympathy. And let's talk titles. Meghan's still signing things with her royal title, even though she's technically not supposed to anymore. That rubbed people the wrong way. Add to the fact that her staff keeps quitting, and there's a vibe, let's just say, of drama, so much so that people have nicknamed her the Duchess of Drama. Even Joe Rogan had something to say, and you know if he's dragging your podcast performance, it's probably not great. Then you've got Piers Morgan, who said Meghan and Harry are just faking vulnerability for attention and brand deals. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, old rumors are floating back up again. Whispers about Meghan's life before the palace, yacht parties, ties to elite circles, and maybe even some eyebrow-raising connections. Plus, remember when she said she didn't know much about the royal family before meeting Harry? Yeah, people who knew her back then are saying otherwise. Apparently, she had a vision board with Harry on it. So coincidence or master plan?
We wouldn't know as much about him.
I don't.
But he's still a good-looking guy. He's built great. He looks
Well,
like
those are- yeah.
looks the part.
Looks the part.
From fake crying to royal flexing and even eyebrow-raising job titles, Meghan's moves are sparking more questions than answers. One thing's for sure, the drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. Just when things were starting to quiet down, boom, body language expert Scott Rouse entered the chat, and he didn't hold back. Rouse broke down Meghan's podcast appearance like it was a forensic case. He pointed out her constant blinking, the way her face didn't match her words, and hand gestures that seemed off. According to him, all those little cues, those nonverbal leaks, can be signs of discomfort or even deception. What really stood out was that while Meghan sounded emotional, her body didn't show it. Her face stayed calm, controlled, almost like she was performing.
Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on for
Right?
you. It's the greatest gift you can give. That's the gift that will cost you nothing and that will mean everything to your children. You can do it for your partner too. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
No, you should do it for the kids.
Yeah, I'm having these like aha moments right now, thinking about doing that and also about how many people are going to start doing that.
Yeah.
Start doing that because that's so beautiful. And I think about like the closest person to me in my entire life is my mom who adopted me. And when she passed away, like the things she said to me toward the end when she
At one point in the interview, Meghan was asked if she thought her marriage would last forever. She said yes, then started gushing about her husband being handsome and having a beautiful heart. But Rouse caught something others didn't. She gave a tiny shoulder shrug, and her voice suddenly went high-pitched. He explained that when people are stressed, their voices can rise because the throat muscles tighten, aka a classic sign someone might not be saying the full truth. That little moment reignited the whole internet. Suddenly, people weren't just judging what Meghan said, they were analyzing every blink and eyebrow raise like it was a true crime documentary. But that wasn't the only thing getting attention. Meghan also shared a parenting detail that had most people scratching their heads. She said she writes emails to her kids every single night to email accounts that they don't even use yet. The idea was that one day, when they're older, she'll hand them the messages and they'll see how much she loved them. Sounds sweet, right? But online, people weren't exactly swooning. A lot of folks thought that it sounded more like a PR move than a real mom moment. Critics joke that no 18-year-old wants to open up 40,000 unread messages from their mom.
That sort of like names again that you would never guess, that I will give them at some point in their lives when they're older. But before I go to bed almost every night, I email them.
Wow.
I email because it doesn't have to be a heavy lift, and you email them like, here's your report card from today, or oh my gosh, you said the funniest thing this morning, or here's a picture of you two having breakfast, or here's you playing with the dog. The things that you're not going to frame, the things that you're not going to put pen to paper in a journal, but they will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
I have full body chills right now.
For your whole life. And here's everything and every moment that I wanted to tell you how much I love you and like how proud I am of you. And of all things that's making me emotional. For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much. And that's, I think, the best part about being a mom. And we go back to like a love language or gifts. It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about, I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply. And I love being able to see your growth. And I'm just so proud of them.
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
Right?
Thank you. It's the greatest gift you can give. That's the gift that will cost you nothing and that will mean everything to your children. You do it for your partner too. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
No, you should do it for the kids.
Yeah, I'm having these like aha moments right now, thinking about doing that and also about how many people are going to start doing that.
Yeah.
Start doing that because that's so beautiful. And I think about like the closest person to me in my entire.
Then came the title drama. During that same podcast, Meghan showed a gift basket she sent out. Nothing wrong with that until viewers zoomed in on the card and it was signed Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. The problem? She's not allowed to use that title anymore. That was part of the deal when she and Harry stepped down from their royal roles. So when people saw her still using it, they called it delusional. Even some of her own friends reportedly thought it was embarrassing.
Jack in the Box because my mom loved their tacos.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now. You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name, our little family name.
Well, now I know, and I love it.
Public opinion? Brutal. 2/3 of Brits now think Harry and Meghan should lose their HRH titles completely. And it's not just random people on social media. Polls are showing nearly 97% think King Charles should make it official and cut the titles for good. The argument is simple. You can't be half in and half out. You can't leave the royal family but still slap royal on your branding when it benefits you.
The jaw sets and the eyes go black and her shoulders rise up and she goes, you know, it's so funny. And she's like chopping something. So it's like dangerous. You know, it's so funny you say that. So funny you say that because you know what? I'm Sussex now.
I'm Sussex.
Oh my God. It was like a soap operatic moment.
We have it. Let's watch it.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now. You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name.
Very weird.
Oh, and what follows that is she goes, our little family name.
Right.
Yet another dig at the royals that gave her that title.
Did you notice that at the end of every episode, it says, like, the starring, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex?
Yes.
That's how.
And the heat's no longer just coming from the press or the public. The pressure's building inside the palace, too. The monarchy itself is starting to feel it. King Charles has mostly stayed quiet, avoiding any big moves when it comes to Harry and Meghan. But insiders say Prince William, he's not planning to play nice when it's his turn on the throne. Apparently, he sees everything they've done as a flat-out betrayal, and he's ready to cut them off completely to protect the family's image. At this point, it's way bigger than just family drama. It's a royal mess playing out for the entire world to see.
I've come back to the UK as sadly for funerals or court cases, with the odd charitable function where I can in between that. I put myself at risk for that, but I I will continue on with a life of public service. So I will always support the charities and the people that mean so much to me. I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. And the things that they're going to miss is, well, everything. You know, I love my country.
And Harry, he's not helping his case. He's been called all kinds of things lately: self-centered, hypocritical, even disloyal. A lot of that heat came after he started blaming everyone else for his lack of personal security, even his dad, King Charles, who's literally battling cancer right now. Harry shared that his father won't speak to him anymore because of all the drama over security. And the internet, not exactly sympathetic. One person joked he's dug such a deep hole, he'll probably hit water soon.
The most influential man in the world, Time magazine should have been.
No, Meghan Markle beat me.
God. How if it's most influential, there should be there's no debate. Nobody's even in the same category as you.
I don't know. I don't think about it. I try not to. It's a little complicated.
I'm thinking about it, though.
I really shouldn't be influential. I'm not, I don't think hard enough about the consequences of it.
You say that all the time, but man, you have so many good conversations, and it's like, it's definitely changed. Here's what's crazy is, you know, mainstream media, with all the money that the advertisers had to pay or whatever, it's like that was their thing. Now that feels like that money's coming to the podcast realm because of you. I mean, you've shown the power of podcast.
Meanwhile, Meghan tried another rebrand. Her original lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, got a name change. Now it's called As Ever. But even that didn't go smoothly. The name clashed with existing small businesses, and the logo? It looked almost identical to the official coat of arms from a town in Spain. That sparked legal threats. People weren't impressed. Instead of seeing something classy and thoughtful, they saw yet another rushed attempt to stay relevant. Yes, products sold out, but only because there weren't many made to begin with. Her podcast hasn't done any better. It dropped off the charts fast, and the content got slammed by critics. Behind the scenes, there were whispers that the As Ever launch flopped just like her earlier attempt with Love Meghan. None of these ventures seemed to be sticking. Then came a whole new controversy. Meghan's bath salt recipe, shown on Netflix, landed her in potential legal trouble. A woman from Maryland, Robin Patrick, said the product gave her serious burns and ulcers. She's diabetic and claimed the ingredients, like arnica and Himalayan salt, made things worse. She's threatening to sue Meghan, Netflix, and Archewell for up to $10 million.
My name is Megan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy K.
And just when you thought it couldn't get more chaotic, old rumors about Meghan's past started circulating again. Some say she used to work at Soho House, walking VIPs down red carpets, something a lot of aspiring actresses do to get noticed. Others went further, calling her a modern-day siren who knew exactly what she was doing when she met Prince Harry. Long before she was a duchess, she was also one of the briefcase girls on Deal or No Deal, a job she later bashed for being too objectifying. That led to one critic sarcastically asking if she thought it was an executive role. There's also this long-standing rumor about Meghan being a yacht girl, basically a guest at elite parties thrown on private yachts. Some even linked her name to Epstein and Prince Andrew, though nothing has ever been confirmed. One detail that keeps popping up, her alleged invite to a yacht week in Croatia back in 2016, just before she met Harry. It's all unproven, but the timeline? Let's just say it keeps people talking. Here's a twist. Turns out Meghan may have known a lot more about the royal family than she let on. Even though she once claimed she never Googled Prince Harry and didn't know much about the royals, people close to her say otherwise. According to a friend of her ex-husband, Meghan even had a vision board with Harry on it. Yeah, she apparently had her eyes on the crown long before the world knew they were dating. Add to that some of her old blog posts and early interviews, and it's clear she had a serious fascination with royal life. Now, whether that's just gossip or something she's tried to downplay, it definitely adds to the public's growing suspicion. A lot of people are starting to feel like Meghan's rise to global fame wasn't a fairy tale, it was a strategy. Because even though she and Harry say they want privacy, they've gone on talk shows, dropped documentaries, and released books, all while criticizing the monarchy. They used to be seen as modern rebels pushing back against old traditions, but now, more and more people see them as attention seekers, using drama and victimhood as a brand. From emotional podcast moments to royal title controversy, it's starting to feel like everything they do is carefully staged to shape the narrative they want the world to see. They keep saying they don't want the spotlight, but everything screams otherwise. Book deals, Netflix shows, podcast contracts, product launches. So at this point, people aren't asking if Meghan's tears are real. They're asking if anyone's still falling for it. And it's not just Joe Rogan calling it out. Other big names are chiming in too. Candace Owens, Piers Morgan, and Megyn Kelly all had their say. Piers in particular went in hard. He called Meghan's podcast performance a flat-out emotional act and dragged her Netflix series With Love Meghan as unwatchable. According to him, it was just a bunch of people telling Meghan how amazing she is.
Pursuit of perfection. Woke us all up. We're in the pursuit of joy. Love
I
is
can't
in the
take it anymore. Get out,
details.
get out, get out. Uncle, make it end. Make it end. What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her. And it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen this sort of before. I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity. Because I know other women who are listening to this podcast can totally relate. When I have my girlfriends over and we're cooking, all of us are in full glam. And we're like, it's not about perfection, but then you look at what we've made and it's literally perfect. In fact, just when I make a cake, it looks.
But it didn't stop there. Piers went on to call both Meghan and Harry emotional con artists, accusing them of faking vulnerability to gain sympathy and, of course, boost their brand. He said they're always switching up their image, going from Hollywood glam to barefoot and humble whenever it suits the narrative. And insiders say Hollywood isn't falling for it anymore. People close to the couple quietly stepping away. Meghan's podcast tanked, her lifestyle brand didn't make waves, and her attempt to come off as a soft, soulful mom isn't landing with audiences either. He also criticized the moment when Meghan revealed she writes daily email letters to her kids, even though they don't have access to the accounts yet. She said she plans to give them the emails when they're older, but a lot of people found it weird and over the top. On Piers Morgan's panel, they straight up laughed, calling it a PR move instead of a genuine parenting moment. Critics said it wasn't really about the kids, it was about making Meghan look like the perfect, poetic mother. It's the same old pattern with Meghan. Big emotional moment, perfectly timed vulnerability, and then the internet rolls its eyes. People have started noticing that every intimate reveal she makes feels less like honesty and more like a soft launch for her personal brand. Take her now infamous hard work speech. She listed things like writing Instagram captions and staying in touch with friends as examples of her stressful, overloaded life. Naturally, folks who are working 2 or 3 jobs to pay bills didn't take that too well. And critics like Piers Morgan came for her hard, pointing out that she's got assistants, PR teams, and more resources than most moms could dream of. At this point, it's not just about Meghan being out of touch. People are seriously wondering if anyone in the royal family is still backing her. Word on the street is that Prince William is done playing nice. Allegedly, he wants their royal titles gone for good. What started as a podcast meltdown is now full-on royal drama. And this time, it's not just the usual media critics stirring the pot. The palace itself is reportedly getting fed up. And just when things couldn't get more awkward, Meghan got dragged again. This time over her appearance at a wildfire relief site in Pasadena. She and Harry visited the disaster zone. And while they were filmed talking with officials and walking the area, people noticed something off. There wasn't much footage of them doing hands-on aid work. Meghan did bend down at one point to take the lid off a plastic bin, and that moment, it got roasted online. Candace Owens, never one to hold back, mocked the whole thing on TikTok. She joked that watching Meghan lift a bin lid was apparently all the proof needed that she's real. Owens even told Newsweek she sees Meghan and Harry as inauthentic ambulance chasers, basically showing up for the photo ops, not the real help.
I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity. Because I know other women who are listening to this podcast can totally relate. When I have my girlfriends over and we're cooking, all of us are in full glam. And we're like, it's not about perfection, but then you look at what we've made and it's literally perfect. In fact, just when I make a cake, it looks just like that with my girlfriends. I look perfect. They look perfect. The cake looks perfect, but we say it's not about perfection. Really? Because I feel like it maybe is precisely.
She doubled down in another clip saying if anyone sees a plastic bin that needs lifting, just call Meghan. Owens wasn't buying the down and dirty angle at all. Her point? People in disaster zones don't need photo ops. They need food, money, and places to live. She admitted maybe Meghan and Harry were helping behind the scenes, but she still didn't understand the point of the visit if it wasn't truly hands-on. And as if that wasn't enough, Owens also took a swipe at Meghan's Netflix series With Love Meghan, which just got postponed. She said the show, where Meghan's seen cooking in a luxe mansion with celeb friends, probably didn't feel all that relatable right now. Viewers might not be in the mood to watch someone harvest garden honey and bake Martha Stewart-level cakes while the world burns.
That's what you do. And we're just going to try to figure out like who you are. Like, I don't understand why they thought that producing what could only be described as a rom-com trailer. I truly, when I watched this, I tweeted, I thought it was going to end and say starring Drew Barrymore and Julia Roberts in whatever two. You know, like, what is this? It's giving rom-com vibes. The music in the background. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe? What is that? Like, this is just, even when she was giving us reality, she couldn't give us reality. So I just wanted to say that if you don't like her, it's not your fault. It's because she's extremely unlikable. Okay. She has the
According to Owens, the Sussexes thought it would be best to push the release for now. But hey, at least people can still catch it later, if they still care by then. So the clip of Candace Owens dragging Meghan Markle? Yeah, that one blew up. Over 27,000 likes and more than 500,000 views on TikTok. But not everyone was cheering her on. Some folks pushed back, saying the constant Meghan bashing is getting old. One commenter even said that using a quick moment of volunteer work to attack her again made zero sense.
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there is no doubt that she studied Princess Diana. She studied her mannerisms towards Harry when he was a boy and the way that she grabs her face. And this is the psychopathic elements of what she does, putting a pregnancy text next to Princess Diana's hair, saying that she put her hands on the grave to have a conversation with her, bursting into tears. And she has convinced, there's a thing called in psychology called the Freudian transfer. She has convinced Harry that she is Princess Diana, except this time he has an opportunity to save her. That is the truth. And it's worked, right? So she's done this convincing performance for Harry that I don't know how I ended here. I just love you. And I'm just like your mom. And the one chance that you had to save your mom again, when he recounts that tale and the things that she said, she threatened homicide on her unborn child and suicide on herself. And then she convinced Harry that it was his idea to leave the UK.
But that didn't stop the critics from rolling in. Another voice chimed in, none other than Megyn Kelly. And let's just say, she did not hold back. On her show, Kelly went all in on Meghan during a chat with Barstool Sports' Dave Portnoy. She called Meghan a malignant narcissist and even claimed she married Prince Harry for money. According to Kelly, Meghan had a vision board with Harry on it and basically chased him down like she was on a mission. Now, this kind of talk isn't new. Meghan's been catching heat like this since she and Harry first went public in 2016. Ever since that blind date set up by a mutual friend, people have been picking apart her every move, especially after the engagement. And here's the thing. Before she met Harry, Meghan had already built a successful acting career. Remember Suits? But despite that, critics still love painting her as some gold digger social climber. A lot of these attacks have been called out for having a classist and even racist edge.
A little, but she's really leaning in now in her little podcast with Meghan. And she's gone next octave up, and the two of them have the weirdest dynamic. And so in this podcast, Meghan does her perfectly curated life thing, but she's allegedly wearing no makeup. Meanwhile, she's got like the perfect blowout, you know, and like she's completely camera ready, except she didn't put eye makeup on. And she also is pretending that she's crying. And we did a zero in, like we zoomed in just to see there isn't a tear in sight, Dan. Look at this. I invite the viewers to take a close-up look at this. Where's the tear? There's nothing there. Look, it's an actor's trick. She just keeps wiping and wiping and wiping, so we think she has a heart.
Oh my God, Meghan. She has this really famous thing where she says one tap left eye and she can make herself cry on demand. And it's a really good thing to have as an actress. But
experts have weighed in too. Therapists and relationship pros say Meghan's comments feed into sexist stereotypes, like the tired old narrative that women only marry rich men for status or money. It's that whole idea that women can't possibly marry for love or have their own success without some hidden agenda. One counselor pointed out how unfair it is that Meghan's motives are always questioned, while nobody really asks why Harry married her. Like maybe he just fell for a smart, successful, beautiful woman. But apparently, when it's a woman in the spotlight, people assume the worst. Another therapist called Meghan's rant just plain bad taste, saying it was wrong to make those kinds of personal assumptions about someone else's marriage, especially when Meghan was already doing just fine on her own before Harry came into the picture. But hey, that's the cycle, right? Meghan breathes, the media explodes. So what do you think? Is all this hate just recycled drama? Or is there still more going on behind the scenes? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.